Good. So the front, remember, has to be, the first thing is radiolucent, uniformly radiolucent. Okay, the front and back, they're going to be rigid. You have the foam, and the foam pads are there to put pressure on the film, to have the screen and the film as close as possible, right? Why is that important? Rachel Kreider, why is that important?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Rachel, you were saying it.
I just shook my head, yes.
Why do you want a good contact between the two? Everybody. Monique Racino. Monique is her name.
Because if there's not good contact, then it will show all black.
Oh, will show up all black. Okay, let's see. Okay. Huh. Look at all these people looking away.
No.
It's Valentino.
Flipping the pages.
Stop flipping the pages. Tell me, why is that important?
Stay awake.
Not you. I'm not gonna ask you. I know you know. Just think about it. Okay, you want a good contact between the screen and the film, right? Why is that? Why is that important? Sabina Costello.
Oh.
Tell us.
I would just assume that you want as much light to be absorbed into the film.
Okay, that's part of it. Uh-huh. Okay, that's part.
I feel like the more gap would leave more room for like everything to escape, more elements combining with things. I don't know. Okay, maybe that's off track.
Angela?
I would say a higher conversion efficiency rate if it's closer to contact.
No. No, the higher conversion efficiency, that has to do strictly with the type of phosphor you have. But in this case, we're talking about a physical space between the screen and the film. If this is the screen, this is the film.
And a higher absorption then?
Huh?
And a higher, like.
The-
Better
How about
resolution.
you? What do you think? Yeah, you. Miss Who?
Oh,
Miss Who?
Better, so you have better resolution and less distortion,
Why is that?
because like the light, diverges, and if it's farther, then there's more divergence.
Okay, say it, turn around and say it out loud. World to hear.
No worries,
If
if
you didn't know, write it down, please. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, so you want good contact because light diverges, and the farther the space is, the more it diverges, so you get more distortion, and you have better resolution if there's good contact.
Exactly. So you want good contact because of good resolution. If they are too farther apart, you're going to have distortion. The light will diverge, like she said, and then you're going to have a more distorted image. In addition to it, there's one more thing. Okay, there's one more thing.
You'll have better density.
Exactly. All right, that's the other thing. If it's too far apart, then the density of that area that is far apart will be lower. Okay, because light is not reaching as much as if you had good contact. Make sense?
Mhm.
Meaning that area will be lighter than everything else. The area that is separated. So, better resolution and then also density. Okay? We're good? Huh?
This you mean about the air gap, right?
Hmm?
Is the air gap?
Yeah, there's an air gap. But I'm not talking about the air gap technique that I think you're referring to. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking there is a space between the film and the screen. Everybody? Rachel, are we good? Make sense? Good. Ms. Valentino? Okay, Ms. Racino? Okay. All right. Ms. King? Good? All right. All right, so you want to ensure good film contrast. So it's something as simple as a piece of foam that is simple as a piece of foam that is important to have it there to have good contact. And this is also why I explained the other day, you don't want to have anybody putting weight on it. okay, because then you can warp the cassette. Okay, good. All right, so the back I already explained, the lead line absorb back scatter. And I already explained that, so I'm not gonna explain it again. Here, loading and storing, I began to describe it. Cleaning, there should be, when I say cleaning, not only cleaning the outside for infection control, but also cleaning the screens. And remember what the last thing I said before we took a break, no alcohol and no soap and water, because you're gonna lift off the protective coating. And if you lift off the protective coating, what's next? The phosphorus. You're gonna start pulling off the phosphorus too. Okay, especially alcohol. No alcohol here. All right. They sell you. The manufacturer will sell you. And it's basically soap, but it's a very mild soap. Very mild soap that is not going to ruin the protective coating. And the way you do it, here, pay attention here. The way you do it is you always want to go with the wet. You want to use a 4x4, okay? You want to use a 4x4 and you want to go up and down. The stroke is always up and down. And then you do the other side.
What is it 4x4?
It's a gauze, a piece of gauze 4x4,
Okay.
a size 4x4. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not the little ones, those are 2x2, so you want to use the larger one, get it wet with the solution they tell you, and then you go stroke up and down in the same direction. You don't want to go across, you want to go up and down, and then here's probably another important thing. When you're done with that, leave it open, leave the screen open like this, like I'm doing, like that. That's what you want to do. Leave it open like this, and let it air dry. You don't want to go back with another gauze and try to dry it, because then you begin to lift off the protective coat. Just go stroke up and down, leave it, semi-wet, and leave it open maybe an hour or so, and then when it's dry, you close it with a cassette inside. Garrett, you had a question.
So up and down along the long axis of the screen, right? Yeah.
Are we cleaning the cassette or the film? You say cleaning cassette, right?
No, cleaning the screen.
The screen?
The screen,
We have to clean the screen.
not the film. The screen.
How often do you do that?
It depends on how busy your facility is. Typically, it was done once a week. All right. Okay, artifacts. Artifacts is anything that is there that is not really part of the anatomy that you're trying to image.
Yep.
Okay, and so artifacts can get on the screen because when take a look, when you're loading the screens, this is how you do it, right? And you get your film, and so stuff can get in there. And what happens, for example, if you have a piece of hair in there? What will happen to the screen?
You're going to see that piece of paper.
You will see a line. When you expose the film, you will see a line. If it is dust, you're going to see speckles. All right, so anything, any dirt, any dust, anything that gets in here, okay, will show up on the film. And so it needs to be clean, okay? And that's why screens are always identified. See here, this one is number 8. If you find, because when sometimes you get scratches and whatnot, and if you see a scratch that is not being removed, what you will see this number 8 on your film. So you can go back to screen 8, look for it, you clean it. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, then it needs to be retired. Make sense? Okay, good. Okay, when loading, you don't want to fully open it because of what? Dust. You're gonna get stuff in there, and so you don't want to do that. You don't want to fully open it. Just partially open it, and then you put your cassette in there and then close it again. This will prevent collection of dust and condensation as well. Okay, the store on end. I told you this before, like a book, right? I talked about this before. Always like this, especially if you're gonna be gone for a week, say you're on vacation or whatnot, and so you wanna leave it like this. You don't wanna leave cassettes on top of each other. Okay, store on empty if you're gonna be gone for more than a week. Make sure that you remove the film. Because what happens if there is a little bit of humidity, then the film sticks to the screen, and then when you want to get them apart, then either you ruin the film or the screen, but the screen will be ruined, okay, permanently. And so you want to leave them empty. Okay. Cleaning, especially the sign electrostatic cleaning solution, apply solution to gauze, wipe from side to side, like I show you. Repeat at a 90 degrees in the first application if you want. It's not necessary, but if you want to, you can go back and repeat it at 90 degrees. So if you're going this way, the second application will go this way if you want to. With solution, not with a dry gauze. With solution. Follow with dry gauze to absorb excess if you want to, if you need to use them quicker. And leave it open until truly dry. Okay, phosphorus may be activated by heat, light, and radiation. Okay, so anything like this, okay, it's too hot, you know, they will start emitting light, okay. Very bright lights will also activate the phosphorus, and they will emit light. Radiation, obviously, that's what they're designed to. They will emit light when that comes into light. Block light transmission, wide spot on image. Debris in cassette. If you have debris, anything, that what you will end up having will be a white spot on your screen. You say, well, but that will be easy to identify. No, it's not. Trust me, it's not. Especially in mammography, where you're looking at microcalcifications, you end up with those black dots. The first thing the doctor's going to say, let's do a biopsy on this patient. Yeah, that's the first thing they do. Yeah, they don't want to take any chance. And so they end up putting a needle in, getting samples of the patient's breast, just because of something like that. So they have to be clean. In mammal, the screens have to be cleaned twice a day. Twice a day. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Twice a day, because of that reason. All right, this is the end of section 2. So this is what it will be covered for your exam on Monday. Remember, we have no class on Friday. Right? So it's just Thursday. What we have on Wednesday. We haven't finished yet. We still have 10 minutes. Don't finish. Don't put your books away. I'm only announcing. Oh yeah, we have a quiz, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. I'll come back in 5 minutes.
We can
I forgot.